people when they go to sleep, they put their phone on charge and they only take it off charge in the morning. Okay? Now, these sort of things that you do in your daily life, think about how you can implement those sort of things in your Ramadan as well. Put your heart on charge in the month of Ramadan. Now, this mobile phone, try to disconnect away from it in the month of Ramadan. Rather than go like this, wasting time, looking through Instagram, TikTok, where all the fitna is going to be, where your time will be taken up scrolling through it, that you will say, I'm only going to do a 5-minute thing of scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, but before you know it, when you look at the time, you wasted 2 to 3 hours, or you might have even wasted a full night just looking at things of no benefit. They will have no benefit for your soul, they will have no benefit for your time in general. You've just wasted your time. One thing which is a very dangerous tool to have at your young age is this mobile phone. Okay? Only a few days ago, on this same mobile phone, certain social media apps went completely blackout. There was an outrage when Facebook went down, Instagram went down, TikTok went down, all these apps went down. And everybody was scrolling through their phone like, what are we going to do? How are we going to live our life? We can't document the fact that we are sitting in a fancy restaurant and eating this food. We can't document the fact that we are posing with this flashy car or doing some sort of action. We can't document it for the whole world to see. And there was this great outrage when social media went down. And it always happens. Whenever social media goes down, there's a great outrage. Okay? Take yourself out of that situation for a moment and ponder to yourself that what if one day internet as a whole completely stopped? What if one day that same oxygen that you are using to keep you going in this world, to breathe in this world, what if that was cut off from your life? What if one day the sun, or the moon, they moved slightly left or right out of their orbit and out of their axis? What it will do to the world as a whole. We would be crushed. This earth would no longer exist. Everything, the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation is that everything has been created perfectly in its own regard. That if any one of these things, whether it's the sun, whether it's the moon, was to move slightly left or right, then everything else would also be destroyed with it. Just think to yourself, if any one of these things were to happen, if your blood supply was cut off from your body, would you be able to live? If your heart stopped functioning, would you be able to live? Okay? These are the sort of things that should be going through your mind. Not what if Instagram went down? Will I be able to live? Of course you'll be able to live. If our elders and our forefathers were able to live without a mobile phone and social media 20 or 30 years ago, what makes you think that you won't be able to live for a full month in the month of Ramadan without your mobile phone? Making use of your free time by how? Picking up the Quran al-Kareem and reading through the verses of Al-Quran al-Kareem. For this is that great month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals this great guidance book towards the ummah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay. If it's not the Quran al-Kareem, pick up some sort of literature, whether that's a seerah book, whether that's a fiqh book. Occupy your time, occupying your mind with reading. Reading is such a great form of spending one's free time. It sharpens your intellect. Okay, you'll pick up new words which you never thought you'd be able to learn. Okay, there's so much that you can do just from reading a book. Now, not just reading a book. Go and sit with people physically. Don't just video call somebody. Okay. The sad reality is that we'll be in a household with our family and our nearest and dearest loved ones. Mother will be sitting on sofa, father will be sitting on the sofa as well. But how are they communicating with each other? Through the mobile phone. What do you want to eat today? You don't make roti today, we'll all take out. They're right next to each other. Rather than using their tongues and their mouths to speak, that they will communicate through this device of the mobile phone. This is going to be one of the most dangerous traps in the month of Ramadan. But the believer who is able to take a hold of this and put it to one side for 1 month, okay, you will see Ramadan is not just about fasting and standing in the night for prayer. It's also a detox for your body as well. Removing those things which occupy too much of your time. And if it's this mobile phone that occupies too much of your time, then make a niyyah that before you enter into the month of Ramadan, that you will try to cut down on your screen time. Occupy your mind, occupy your soul, occupy your heart with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.